Welcome to Monday Musings with the Blended Mama, gentle encouragement for busy women finding calm in the chaos. I'm Teresa, and this is a quiet place to pause at the start of your week. No pressure, no productivity lecture, just a few minutes of perspective and one small step you can carry into the days ahead. I'm really glad you're here. Now, today we're going to be wrapping up season one of Monday Musings, and I have really enjoyed this. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. This is my first podcast, first season, but it is an expansion of something that I was offering in our community. Now, over the past few weeks, we have been talking about essentializing, doing things in the right order, scheduling rest, and being kinder to ourselves. And today I'm not going to teach anything new, but I want to ask a simple question. What are you carrying forward? Because growth isn't really about finishing a book, although if you finished The Lazy Genius Way with us this quarter, congratulations, right? But that isn't the growth by itself. But the growth is choosing what stays with you. And for me, this quarter really kind of changed something internal. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't dramatic, but it is kind of a steady thought and a steady theme that I have been feeling. I am really working on speaking more kindly to myself and at least acknowledging when I'm not doing it. I definitely still have moments of comparison, especially with that pre-perimenopausal Teresa, but I catch them faster and I'm able to redirect those thoughts. I don't automatically assume that slower means failing, and I'm working on planning differently as well to adjust for that season with more intentionality. I would love to be able to speak this morning, um, but also planning more holistically. So my Sunday planning rhythm isn't just about the tasks that I need to accomplish anymore, but it's really looking at that whole week, my energy, my commitments, my margin, and asking what actually fits. Then during my weekly reflection, I intentionally look at what I did do, and I am purposeful about taking the time to do that. But not just looking at what's unfinished, right? But being intentional about looking for other changes, things I have accomplished, not just the things that I didn't do, right? And so that rhythm has really changed things for me more than I expected. So the things that I personally am going to carry forward into this next quarter, and hopefully for many moons to come, is being kinder internally, right? Being nicer to myself, working on reframing those thoughts, making room for what matters, and being intentional with my time to prioritize those, protecting that white space for rest without apologizing for it. Honestly, white space used to make me uncomfortable. I did not like it. I am somebody who has found my identity at points in time um, in all the things that I was able to accomplish, and that became part of who I was. So having white space made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. If there was an empty space in my calendar, my instinct was absolutely to fill it with something, another task, schedule something else, use the time to get ahead and work ahead. But I really see white space differently now. It's not wasted time. It really is margin. It's unscheduled space where life can happen without everything falling apart, right? For you, white space might mean rest. It might mean breathing room between commitments or space for creativity or conversation. Sometimes it simply means not rushing from one thing to the next. But what I've realized is this: white space is not empty. It's what allows the rest of the week to breathe. Without it, everything feels tight and reactive and stressful. But with it, the week feels steadier. My Sunday planning rhythm reflects that now too. So when I sit down with my planner on Sunday, I start by looking at the commitments that already exist. So appointments, meetings, family plans, things that are already fixed in the week. And then I take a minute to pause and consider my energy, knowing all the other things that are happening. And I ask myself, what kind of week is this realistically going to be? Is it a heavy week? Do I need to leave more margin, more room for rest, more white space? From there, I identify my top three priorities. Not everything, just the three things that matter the most. If those three things get done, I will feel successful. And that shift alone has changed the way that my weeks feel. Because instead of trying to carry everything, I'm intentionally choosing what is going to fit. Another thing I'm carrying forward is letting go of unrealistic standards. I have a coworker who, when we were in the office, she had a sign that printed out that said, "Your expectations are too high," and she would hold it up for me on a regular basis. And that is true of myself. I expect more of myself than is realistic, and my expectations really are too high. So, for example, we talked about this a while back, that 10,000 steps goal, right? There was a season in my life where hitting that number felt like proof that I was disciplined. And if I hit it, the days felt successful. And if I didn't, I felt like I failed. But somewhere along the way, I realized that that number really had quietly turned into judgment. Movement was supposed to support me, but instead it was making me feel guilty because I was not hitting that number. So this season, I'm really shifting the way that I think about movement. And so instead of chasing a number, I'm focusing on intentional movement, right? A purposeful walk, stepping outside for a few minutes, moving my body because it helps my mind reset. And interestingly enough, when that pressure to hit a number disappears, movement becomes easier again. But another thing that really surprised me, probably more than anything, it really had nothing to do with productivity or planning. It was community. Now, I've been working on my chaos coordinator community for several years. I love it. It's always been a fun space for me to hang out, but I knew that I was going to enjoy book club. We've been doing book club for a little bit too, but I will say it's different in this season. Um, I expected to learn something from the book, but what I didn't expect was how much the people who were part of the book club would matter too, because these women, they show up. They share honestly about what they're walking through. They celebrate each other's wins. They support each other when things feel heavy. And sometimes they even offer gentle accountability that we need when we're trying to grow. There's no pressure to be perfect. There's no competition happening. It's just women walking through similar seasons of life who understand what it's like to navigate that changing energy, the family responsibility, identity shifts all at once. And in this season of life that I'm in, that kind of community is very grounding. And I have loved hanging out with these ladies on Monday nights. It really reminded me that growth doesn't have to happen alone. And in fact, it's usually deeper when it isn't done alone. So before we wrap up, I want to invite you into a quick reflection. So if you have your planner in front of you, maybe you can jot some of these things down. And if not, I just want you to think through them. But think about the past month. What are three things that you're carrying forward from this season? Maybe it's a rhythm or a mindset change or a habit that helped you feel steadier. But what do you want to carry forward? What do you want to continue to do and hold on to because it has been good for you? After you finish that, I also want you to think about and write down one belief that you are releasing, something that created pressure or guilt that you're ready to let go of so that you can move forward. And then I want you to think about what rhythm you need to protect as we move forward. Maybe it's your weekly planning time. Maybe it is that rhythm of scheduling rest. Maybe it's making time for that weekly reflection. What habit, what rhythm do you need to protect going forward? And it might have been something that you put in your three things that you're carrying forward. It might be something different, but I really want you to think about, those routines, those habits. What is it that you need to keep doing? And then I want you to think about somebody who's walking through this same season with you. Who is it that is there by your side, part of your community? Because growth is powerful, but growth in community is even stronger. And when I think about that phrase, carry what matters, what comes to mind for me right now is steadiness and clarity and the confidence to move forward with what I know is important. Not everything, just the things that truly matter. This season wasn't about becoming someone new. It was about refining who you already are, learning what actually matters, and releasing what doesn't, and stepping forward with a little more clarity, a little more margin, and a little more grace. And maybe that's the invitation for you too, not to carry everything, but to carry what matters. If you're ready to move from clarity into connection, I would love to have you join us for our next book club. We're going to be reading Find Your People by Jenny Allen. The link to register for book club is in the show notes. If you would like to get weekly encouragement like this delivered straight to your inbox, you can also join my email list using the link in the show notes as well. Thank you for being here with me this season. Thank you for choosing what matters and allowing this to be part of that. Keep protecting your margin, keep speaking kindly to yourself, and keep planning with purpose and coordinating that chaos. I'll be right here next Monday for season 2 of Monday Musings with the Blended Mama, and I hope that you will join me. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next Monday.